That's right, it confuses you. Look at it.
James, you're just in time!
Is this a whole thing for me?
Yep! For once, you get to walk into a room confused about the scenario you find yourself in. This is a party in honor of you.
Ooh!
Being wrong.
Oh.
Yes, James, you've admitted it to me on several occasions, but now it's time for me to have video evidence of this. You being wrong. About what? About Metroid Dread.
Back when Metroid Dread was first revealed, my only exposure to the series had been Metroid Other M, which to me is a good game. Stunted by the story, sure, but an otherwise fine game. It had some innovative ideas I don't think another game could replicate easily. But what first caught me about Dread was the suit. Holy shit, look at that thing. It's all spindly and blue! Plus, it's a Metroidvania, and that genre tickles my wallet like no other can.
Ew. James even attended the Nintendo Store release day event at Nintendo New York on release morning to obtain our copy. It was the first we saw of the Switch OLED in person as well.
It was an excellent way to spend a morning. I got put in 4 different lines because it was not the most organized thing.
I distinctly remember us playing this game and very much disliking many aspects of it.
First and foremost, this game was developed by Mercury Steam, whose previous Metroid game, Samus Returns, we did not own or play at that time. We were unfamiliar with the melee counter, free aim, and Aeon energy, so this being our first exposure to it, it was not met with overwhelming agreement.
I distinctly remember you using the words,
I don't give a fuck, guess who doesn't give a fuck? It's me not giving a fuck, look at all the fucks I just don't fucking give.
and
If you wanted to make a game this fucking hard, if you wanted to make this game this fucking difficult, don't give me a health bar, make every attack a one-hit kill. Just do that.
You weren't much better, you know.
ready for me to give up an hour in? And if I didn't have you over my shoulder being like, oh yeah, you can do this, because a lot of these explanations in this game of the abilities and such is not very good. If I didn't have you over my shoulder pointing out what can and can't be done, my playthrough would probably be about twice as long as it is right now that I'm at this point. I don't like this genre. I don't like this genre. I'm not going back to experience this game again. Games that burn me once don't get second chances. But this isn't about me. This is about you being wrong.
Metroid Dread was not my favorite game on Earth upon playing it the first time. So much so I passed the controller to Andy and forced him to play it so he could see why it was so fucking awful. He and I struggled through the game. All the while I was absolutely enthralled by the secret hunting, the free aiming, and the collectibles. They were so well paced and hidden, it was a point of celebration every time we found one. Metroid Dread houses some of the best pacing for skill collection, secret discovery, and enemy placement that I've ever seen this genre have. Granted, this is a AAA budgeted, meticulously tested Nintendo IP, not like they were a small budget indie just trying to push the genre. Metroid Dread is decently comfortable in its genre. The only thing that might change the future of it is likely the melee counter, but that seems unlikely.
Our only exposure to Samus outside of Metroid games was Smash Bros, where she isn't one of our top pick characters, but her suit is orange, you know where she is on the character board, relatively, and she shoots huge balls at you. She wasn't a character we looked too far into.
Which is another reason Dread stands out. The story! Yeah, there isn't a lot here, and the bits you do get are spaced inconsistently across hours of combat and platforming, but still, we met Quiet Robe and Ravenbeak, and Samus speaks. She speaks Chozo, a made-up alien language, and they're the first words you hear her speak in this game. That's both incredible and hilarious.
Also, Samus is way too good at this game. Every cutscene has her performing acts of heroism and action that make the player look like a box is trying to play this game.
And Box is pretty good at this game. Look at it.
When is it going to leave our house?
I'm not sure, but it just ordered some chicken tenders for delivery.
For us, right? For us, right?
Seriously though, what's the point of letting us play the game if Samus is just going to show all of us up by effortlessly dodging, countering, blasting, and kicking things? No game could ever make you feel this cool. It's so much fun to watch her kick ass in cutscenes because it's leagues above what you can do. It's amazing.
It does have its satisfying moments.
I've played this game front to back 8 times at the time of recording this. I even erased and restarted a file to obtain the footage you see now. I'm not perfect at the game, that's for sure. But is anyone?
Samus.
Agreed, but still. When we played this our first time, Andy and I stopped at the final boss, believing it impossible, unfair, cheap, and shitty. There are many attacks that require quick reads, reaction times, and intimate knowledge of the dozens of abilities you've obtained to counter and dodge attacks. And in the moment, it's hard to remember all of them. This fight takes a lot of missiles and power bombs too. It's a consuming battle in time and resources.
By this point in the story, spoilers incoming, Samus has fully accepted the Metroid DNA injected into her to counteract the X-parasite that infected her in Metroid Fusion, and she can absorb enemy essences. There's even a boss or two you take down prior to Ravenbeak who suffer the same death of absorption into the entity of Samus Aran. Now it's this guy's turn. After a fight that still looks quite challenging, Samus is choked by Ravenbeak in the final moments of battle. He's a huge creature with a reach to boot, but
it doesn't matter much. Samus lets the Metroid overtake her, obtaining the Metroid suit, and drinks Ravenbeak like an acai berry smoothie, doing her best Super Saiyan 3 transformation yell. She also absorbs the energy of the ship the battle took place in, sending it crashing into planet ZDR. What follows is something apparently well known in the Metroid series: getting the fuck off the planet before it explodes. It's incredible, absolutely stressful, yeah, but awesome all the same.
have we gotten to why you're wrong yet?
Kind of, we've touched on it.
We've only touched on it? We're 5 pages in, James. Get to it, man!
Metroid Dread is a great game, an excellent game, an example of a game for any that want to make a Vania or a Metroid-like of any kind. It took me 2 to 5 tries at this game to figure out exactly how good it is. Granted, it shouldn't take more than 1 try to figure out if you like it or not, but the main factors bringing me back over and over were the suit and the exploration mechanics. For a game that's specific to a 2D plane, the world feels 3D, explorable, climbable, searchable.
So you agree it takes a few tries before you finally get good at the game?
I do admit that, because bosses are nearly impossible your first time through. It takes fairly intense study and practice to nail down the timing of the melee counters and their tactics. Specifically in hard mode, which doubles damage, halves refills, and generally makes the game harder. Not unbeatable, but harder.
Did you hear that subtle brag, everyone?
I was wholeheartedly wrong about Metroid Dread. While I don't like the fact it requires multiple playthroughs to figure out how much you like it, or to be good at it, I do admit my opinions about the game were almost entirely incorrect. I do not, in fact, hate this game. Even dislike it, really. I enjoy this game. I love it. I heartily recommend it. Beyond all I've said today, this game is short as well, which makes it even easier to recommend. I can finish a sub 5-hour run, still have enough to beat Ravenbeak, and be hungry for more.
Just goes to show, if you're bored enough, you'll give any game a second chance.
Andy is pretty resolute in his feelings about Dread.
Not my kind of game, not interested in trying it again. Well, I thought this would be a bigger reveal of some kind. Thank you for watching, everyone. Were you wrong about Metroid Dread? What do you think of Samus' suit in this game? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to watch our other videos to remind James how wrong he is about other games we played. See you all at Thanksgiving. It's coming up. By the time this video releases.
Oh, shut your mouth.